What's it going to take? That's the question on many minds. Millions of Americans after hearing more evidence emerging that Joe Biden was selling his influence to the highest bidder. Former Hunter Biden business partner Devon Archer canceled his appearance before the House Oversight Committee for now a third time. Reportedly, Archer will testify that Hunter put the big guy, a.k.a. Dad, a.k.a. Joe Biden, on the phone with his business associates at least 24 times. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says Republicans won't stop until they get answers.
The people of America have a right to know what went on. You have a president who lied to the American public, said they didn't get any money from China. We know that's true. We've had whistleblowers from the IRS come say the Biden family was treated differently and that other things were going on. And then you have a informant with the FBI saying there was a bribe. We need to know the answer to this. And as we get more information going forward, if at any time I feel as though we're not able to get all the information we need, we'll have to rise to the level of impeachment inquiry.
An impeachment inquiry, something former President Donald Trump knows all too well. All of his impeachments found to be baseless, from Russia, to that perfect phone call.
We had a perfect phone call with the president of Ukraine. Everybody knows it. It's just a Democrat witch hunt. Here we go again. They failed with Russia. They failed with recession. They failed with everything. And now they're bringing this up. The one who's got the problem is Biden. As you look at what Biden did what they would like to have me do, except for one problem. I didn't do it.
But the problem with Biden is he involved with the highest court of the land, the Department of Justice? Let's take a look at our courts, though. In the Hunter Biden case, into his tax fraud and bribery allegations, gun charge, etc., the Department of Injustice plea bargain standards generally call for requiring the defendant to plead guilty to a minimum of the most serious, readily provable charge. In the Hunter investigation, the IRS whistleblowers even found definitive proof of illegal tax deductions and that Hunter owed millions in back taxes.
There were personal expenses that were taken as business expenses. Prostitutes, sex club memberships, hotel rooms for purported drug dealers.
How much did Hunter Biden owe in taxes?
So from 2014 to 2019, it was $2.2 million.
Wow, $2.2 million alone would require a minimum 3-year sentence. Never mind that gun offense charge. You know, the one where Hunter's widowed sister-in-law turned lover ditched the gun for him in the trash. That gun offense, a potential 10-year sentence. But Hunter's sweetheart deal required 0 prison time and a diversionary program. But then on Wednesday, rather than plead guilty and walk off into his presidential motorcade, a free man ready to paint another Picasso, Hunter's deal fell apart because of the judge, Judge Mary Ellen Noreika, who simply did her job like a good judge is supposed to do, asking how could it be that the DOJ would give Hunter blanket immunity despite the ongoing investigation into his shady business dealings. Normally, the prosecution and the defense, they're adversaries in court. But in Hunter's case, they work together like cookies and cream, or better yet, corruption and collusion. How long has this grift been going on? How did a lifelong politician like Joe Biden become so stinking rich? According to Forbes, Joe Biden earned $17.3 million over the 4 years he was out of office. Then by the end of 2017, he and Dr. Jill earned a staggering $11.1 million. They raked in another $4.6 million the next year, doing exactly what I have, according to them, delivering speeches and books, because, of course, Biden, he's very eloquent and inspiring. Take a listen.
And you say, well, how can that be, Joe? Well, right now, the government, our tax dollars, pay out through Medicare the help for the prescription drugs. If they have to pay out $159 billion less for prescription drugs, then it reduces the deficit.
That's just sad. But everybody always talks about Hunter. But what about James Biden, Jimmy, Joe's younger brother? Do a quick Google search and you'll see he too is very wealthy. And he has been also paid millions and millions of dollars because of his expertise and I don't know what yet. I mean, here's one headline from a British newspaper. Biden's brother Jim accused of trading on family name in Saudi deal. Jim is well documented to have done multi-million-dollar business deals with several foreign nations, China, Mexico, Romania, Russia, and Ukraine, to name a few. And yet Joe Biden would still have us believe that he knew nothing of his son's or his brother's lucrative business deals. Take a look at this Axios interview back in 2019.
There's one thing that a lot of Democrats even do wonder about, and that is Hunter Biden, your son, was getting paid a lot of money to serve on the board of a Ukrainian energy company facing serious corruption charges. You were the vice president running point on Ukraine. The average Joe hears that and says, that sounds fishy. What's your understanding of what your son was doing for an extraordinary amount of money?
I don't know what he was doing. I know he was on the board. I found out he was on the board after he was on the board, and that was it. And there's nobody...
Well, you've had a lot of time. Isn't this something you want to get to the bottom of?
No, because I trust my son.
But that doesn't pass the smell test. Like, when you're vice president, isn't there a higher standard? Don't you need to know what's happening with your family? Don't you need to put down some guardrails?
Unless there was something that was... there was something on its face that was wrong.
On the face, nothing wrong? Wow. Informants, whistleblowers, dozens of phone calls, LLCs, and millions of dollars transferred from countries who hate the United States to the Biden bank accounts. Say otherwise, Joe. Meantime, the DOJ just added more charges against Trump for holding on to documents they believe he shouldn't have and want to put him behind bars for hundreds of years, which sounds like this is all a presidential records issue. Think about it. If this was a fictional script for a movie, it wouldn't get picked up because a producer would say the plot has to be at least somewhat believable. Americans deserve to know the truth, and I have faith that we will find out the truth. And as George Orwell once famously said, in a time of deceit telling, the truth is a revolutionary act. And guys, we are overdue for a revolution.